you today for another easy, simple solution recipe that will prevent you from buying store-bought pizza crust ever again. This is a way that you can make pizza for your family at home as often as you like. We have it weekly, every Wednesday, in fact, most of the time. So here we go, I'm going to get started. This is a yeast-based dough, so it rises using yeast. This is the type of yeast that I get, and you can get any kind that you like, and I use this so often. Like I said, we eat this weekly, that I buy it in the jar. You can also buy it in packets, but I buy it in the jar. So here we go. So what I've got in my measuring cup, this is a 1 cup measuring cup, and I've got a little bit of sugar in the bottom, and this will activate the yeast. So I'm going to fill it with 1 cup of very warm water. I would actually call it hot water. I think one of the worst mistakes you can make in dealing with yeast is being afraid to get your water too hot so you don't get it hot enough. This should be hot water. Anything coming out of your tap should be hot enough. So I have filled my measuring cup with 1 cup of very warm water. It's got the sugar in it that will help activate the yeast. And now I'm measuring out 2.5 teaspoons of the active dry yeast. You can use 2 different measuring spoons if you want, but for a lady who doesn't enjoy doing dishes, you can just use 2 and then fill the 3rd one up to halfway. And there you go, 2.5. There's my quick tip for you today. Fill this up, and now I'm going to stir it again with the back of the teaspoon because I don't like to use any dishes that aren't necessary. And this is going to start activating already. You can kind of see it starting to activate. I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then I'll come back and show you what we do next. So we're back, and our yeast has definitely activated. So that's the great thing about yeast, you know right away whether you did it or not, you did it correctly or not, because it will bloom is the word that they use to describe that. So I have got in my bowl 2 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. This is not my favorite type of flour. Not the all-purpose, I always use all-purpose, but it's not my favorite brand of all-purpose flour, but due to coronavirus, we are kind of dealing with whatever we can find. So I have got the 2 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour in there. To that, I am going to add a teaspoon of salt, garlic powder, which I told you guys in my spaghetti sauce recipe that we use a lot of this, and this is another reason why. Spaghetti and pizza are on the menu almost every week, and I don't measure this, I just sprinkle it on the flour until I feel like it's enough. You can play around with that however much you feel. This is shredded Parmesan cheese. You could use the real nice Parmesan cheese if you'd like. This is just something that we always have, so this is what I use. You can definitely fancy that up. And this just gives you some texture and a little bit different flavor in your pizza dough as well. And this I also sprinkle, but I would say about a tablespoon or more. Now that I've got the garlic powder, the salt, and the Parmesan in the flour, I mix those together. Now here's my fancy little trick, and I'm going to show you guys. Just 1 second. So this is my fancy trick, and my yeast is starting to bloom over the side of my measuring cup. So at the same time that I'm adding my yeast, I also add some olive oil in there, and I don't know why, I just feel like it helps to kind of do it at the same time. And I'm probably adding about a tablespoon or 2 of my olive oil, again, something I don't measure. but I just kind of pour that in along with the yeast. That's going to be mixed together. Okay, I have all of those ingredients mixed together and nicely incorporated. And for your dough, you don't want it to be too wet, and you also don't want it to be too dry because it needs to raise. So this is what my dough looks like at this point, and it will at least double in size in probably about 20 to 30 minutes. And so what I do is I take a clean dish towel, and put it over my bowl, and then I place it on my oven or any other warm place in your kitchen and let it rise till it's at least double in size. Like I said, give it at least 20 to 30 minutes. And when we get back, I will show you what it looks like and how to put together the pizza dough. Okay, we are back, and as you can see, look at this big, beautiful thing of dough that has risen to at least double its size before. Wish I had a comparison picture for you so you guys can see that. So what I'm going to do now is on a clean, dry surface, your counter, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour, and we're going to roll out our pizza dough. It down. If you really want to get your hands in there, you can punch it down. You know, take out all your frustrations for the day. Spread the flour around a little bit. Get our nice, lovely dough onto the counter. Try to get a little bit of flour on my rolling pin. See, my kids got me this for Christmas a couple years ago. So sweet of them. Sprinkle a little bit on top too. Alright. We're not going to work this a whole bunch. Just enough to kind of get it in a nice circular pizza shape. So it will be easier to get onto our pizza stone. So I do have to tell you that using a pizza stone definitely improves the flavor and texture of your crust. I remember a couple years ago, my good friend Deisha Hagwood was lamenting the loss of her pizza stone, and I totally related to that because I would be heartbroken if something happened to my pizza stone. I can't even tell you how old it is. I think it's older than Campbell. So, alright, we got this rolled up. So this is my tray. I wrap the pizza dough, and I do this with my pie dough too, and I guess that will be another video. But, and this just helps get the dough from one thing to the other. And then I'm going to transport this over to my pizza stone. And voila! So I have sprinkled a little bit of Parmesan cheese onto my pizza stone so that the pizza dough won't stick. And then we just kind of reshape it a little bit onto the stone. All right. And I will be back in a couple minutes after this raises for a little bit and show you how we top it. All right, we are back and we have our pizza crust all ready to go. And I'm gonna get Maddie to pick up the camera real quick and let her show you that I've actually let the pizza crust sit for a little while, so it's kind of risen again. So we're gonna get like a thick crust pizza, which is fine for me. That's what I love. If you don't like thick crust pizza, then do not let it sit. Just go ahead and put your toppings on it right away and bake it. So I've got the oven heating up to 400 degrees and I cook it for about 20 to 25 minutes. And what we'll need to do, you can also, a really great thing about this is you could also make this ahead of time. You can make it a couple days ahead of time and just not roll it out. Just go ahead and cover it, put it in your refrigerator. You can also freeze this pizza dough as well. So if you're in the mood and want to make 3 at one time, then that would be a great time-saving thing that you could do as well. So I have taken a fork, because you guys have gotten pizzas before from pizza places and then have big bubbles, in them, and that's just not fun at all. So I take a fork and I go through, and I've already done this, and just poke holes all through the pizza crust. So now I'm going to add some pizza sauce. I have actually made my pizza sauce before, but I have become lazier in my old age, and I'm using a jar right now. but you can definitely make your own pizza sauce as well. So feel free to do that. It's really not hard, and I actually still do it if I get ready to make my pizza and get to the fridge and I'm like, oh man, I don't have any pizza sauce. So it's simple. You just add some tomato paste, some water, some spices. The Italian seasoning spices would work great. I would heat up some olive oil and do a little bit of onion and garlic in there first, and then the tomato paste, and water it down to the consistency that you like. Heat all that together, and voila, pizza sauce. If you like your pizza sauce sweeter, you could also add some sugar, but if you want to keep it savory, then leave the sugar out. All right, so now the cheese. And another little thing that I have done to make pizza healthier, or just give it a fun little thing, we grew basil in our garden one year, and I love putting little sprigs or little leaves of basil right now before the cheese. I would put them on top of the sauce, and it just gave it an amazing taste. So I would encourage that. You could also add some spinach to that portion under the cheese, and it kind of, if you have kids who see something green and they're like, oh, then you can definitely hide the greens, which I am not above tricking my children into being healthy. So I'm finishing up adding my pepperoni on top of the cheese. And you can add any meat or no meat. My mother is crazy about vegetable pizza, so you can just add all vegetables, or you can add any combination. You don't know how you like your pizza, but this is just how we eat it. And you can feel free to top it, if it's not oven, tell me it's ready, any way that you like. So we do pepperoni. We also do mushrooms, banana peppers, and I've recently started sneaking in some olives because I really like olives. So my husband hasn't fussed yet, so I'm going to continue that until he says, I like olives. So that's what we're doing, and I will be back and show you the finished product.